Hello, hello, welcome everyone. How are you? Welcome to our stream. We're back after the Easter holidays. Woo! And we're gonna start a new schedule, which I have no idea how it's going to go, but we're gonna figure out. We're gonna do, instead of having Kifu reviews on Saturdays, we're gonna have them on Sundays. All of the Kifu reviews will be on Sunday. And on Saturday, we're gonna do, for now, some shogi study, shogi learning together. Depending on your mood, we can maybe adjust. We can view some kifu, we can do some shogi problems, some challenges, some games. I remind you, Yellow, that you had one game redeemed. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about what you guys want. I know that I promised that we're gonna see the Mainavi match of Satomi and Nishiyama. Thank you, Time Zombie. Shogi explained. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Welcome back, Time Zombie, again. Good to see you online. Would you like to play it today? Yes, we could play it today. And I also wanted to say that we do have coffee. If you guys donate on coffee, it's gonna show up on stream. Coffee is this cool page that we have, and I'm planning to post there regularly some updates. So if you guys follow that page, it's gonna update you. Also, I got a package from Japan with those two magazines. We all know this is Shogi Sekai. So if you guys wanna either read some kifu from here or do one of those small books that's inside, we could do this as well. Yeah, we have many options. So please tell me, what do you feel like doing today? And we shall do it. We shall do it. This is like Tsume Shogi. One small book is about edge attack. The other small book is about Tsume Shogi. We also have some Fuji games, Kifu, inside of those. We have this title which says 3 crown versus 4 crown. It's quite exciting. Here you have Fuji versus Watanabe as well, but you have Toyoshima and Sugai on the cover. We could do that. There is also something about Sente Anaguma, Sente Nakabisha Anaguma. What else do we have? We have every possible shogi book in my home. We could also review those. So yeah, tell me what you think. Yellow says, it would be great to play after the Pro Kifu review. I'm also ready to play right now. Okay. Melkor says, I have better moves for better shogi book and never notices billing you up. Yes, it is billing you up. Happy to rage you, but I will switch back to Time Zombie now. Yes, sure. Of course you can keep Shogi explained. Come on, come on. Sugai Kondo. Yeah, sure. Every possible shogi, review or read, because reviewing every possible book, I can tell you this book is good, that book is bad. That's what review is, right? But did you mean that, or did you mean reading? What's my password? Nope. So realize you guys don't hear the sound of 81 Dojo. That's good because it's a little bit too loud. Do you have pictures of your shogi self? So unlike your shelf that's beautifully it's beautifully adjusted to the size, and the go books are there, and this is this. Remember when you said when you're moving you move for a very long time? My shogi books are in quite a mess right now. This is something I will be working on this week, making it clear. And there is a lot of them, yes. What's something that's cool but have no digital edition? Well, handicap book, for example. If you like handicap shogi, it can teach some basics. Some endgame books, some joseki books. There's like kifu books of given strategy. Like the whole book is about third fight rook, for example. I'm pretty sure it's not online. You have Sugai Noto. Sorry, not Sugai. Shiba Noto. You have like those professionals talking about different openings. Yeah. Which is the worst shogi book? It's green. You don't see it because it's green. We are there's actually maybe one worse, but I'm not gonna roast it for a reason. Handicap books, yeah, there are I hope I had it here. I thought the book that I saw was the handicap one, but it's the same color, it's just not the same one. Yes. Just the fact that it takes me so much to find those books makes you realize how many books I have, okay? So there is like this, it's called blue handicap book, and there is the red handicap book. Yeah, written by the same person actually. So if you guys are interested in studying handicap, we can take a look. Yeah. Yeah, that's that book, Time Zombie. Okay, so because I promised we're gonna start with the My Navi match, I think we're gonna start with that. After that, we could take a look at the handicap books. This one is from 8 piece to Lance Handicap, and this one is reviewed by Habu Sensei. Probably the same. And then, if we have time, we're gonna play game against Muse, and eventually watch this one. Is this connected to... No. I don't think so. It's Shogi Renmei, that's the... it's a very old book, actually. Shogi Renmei is the publisher. So the question is, because there is this... We probably shouldn't watch. There is this guy, Moto Shorekai, who comments on the game, and I think it would be better than my commentary. But also it's his YouTube video, and we cannot really like show it on my stream maybe. So instead we're just gonna watch the Kifu, maybe, and try to figure out on our own. And I cannot find the link. Is this one? No. Where's it? This one? think it's this one. Introduce top 5 female and male current pros and interesting rivals. So, okay, so let's start with that because it might be interesting to mention this. Oh my god, the quality of those pieces is so bad. Can I do a trick? Yes. So if you guys don't know, you can actually do tricks like this. Like very quickly get the Kifu out of the flush without need to ta-da. Error saving Kifu. Ooh, that's new. Okay, why would it be error though? Too many comments? Damage! Maybe it's confused because there are links. Maybe it's too long. This looks like no Kifu in. Okay, this would be Kifu. Error. Hey. Isn't going us. Alright, so it doesn't work. Because of move? No, I don't think it should work like that. Sure, who cares? Sven Kifu? It worked. Oh, you mean I have too much in my database? I have more than 25 Kifu saved, for sure. iFooty Pro game? Well, so on YouTube, I used to like analyze those, like when I started YouTube and where the copyright wasn't this big of a thing. I started with it and the copyright came, so I stopped. Yeah, I mean, it is available live, right? It's on this page, so let's go with that. Let's go with the fact that it's a public Kifu. Top 5 pros is Fujisata Watanabe, Akira Nagase Takuya, Taeshima Masayuki, Saito Shintaro. Yes, those are the names you should remember. But to explain exactly, because this is the game between Satomi and Nishiyama. Who are they? Yeah. So this is Satomi. Yeah, she holds this many titles. She is actually 1 year younger than I am, and she used to go to Shoreikai. She was a free dan. Nishiyama is 4 years younger, 3 years younger than Satomi. She looks quite, yes, Mifa, hello, perfect timing. She looks much older than she is, but she's pretty young. She also was in free dan league, and they both fail to become like 4-dan. Yes, they are able to fight equally with young pros. Maybe not the like Habu, like 9-dan, maybe not that type of pros, but like this younger, they were able to fight equally with them. It's the same path that Fuji had to take to become 4-dan, yes, through Shorekai. But there's the age limit, and Satomi was actually both Lady Pro and Shorekai member at the same time, so she was able to participate in all the tournaments. Nishiyama, on the other hand, she was not a Lady Pro. She only became one after she failed Shorekai. And this is why Satomi kind of had more titles, because she was joining more tournaments, yeah? But the feeling was that if Nishiyama was fighting with Satomi, usually Nishiyama was the stronger one. Like, at least my feeling was like this. Maybe you guys can agree or not. Nishiyama was also really close of becoming pro. But yeah, in the end, pressure and everything, it just doesn't work. Okay, so this is also showing us that she lost the first Mainavi match and then she the second. We all know the result. We all know that she won. Satomi is 2 games away from being the first Lady Pro to ever qualify for a Major title challenger deciding tournament. Yeah, that's quite telling. Hopefully you guys don't hear that real. So anyway, those are definitely one of the top Lady Pros, the title holders. The other Lady Pro that you might wanna remember the name would be Kato Momoko. She also used to be in Shorekai. I think she didn't go to 3-dan. She maybe went to 1-dan or 2-dan. Ito also, I think she was in Shorekai. So those are this is like this new generation of those Lady Pro who try to do their best in, going all the way. They are very strong. They have very sharp mind, and they are very confident. Yeah, a new style. Like compared to other Lady Pro, maybe it gives you a different feeling. Yeah. And then the other name you would have to remember here, this is Shimizu. You heard about her, Shimizu Ichio. She's the first Lady Pro 7-dan. Yes, now we have up to 7-dan in Lady Pro World because they decided that perhaps, because I think Satomi is 6 now, if I'm not wrong. So they wanted to perhaps put a distinction between them and raise the bar a little bit. And again, to get those dans, you need to be approved in a special manner. And Shimizu, when she was young, she was like a shogi legend. It was like the female Habu, they called her, So definitely it's a name you should remember. All right, anyway. Yeah. Yeah, Kato Momoko is also worth watching. If you are like a Gangi player, like a static rook player, I wrote Kifu. I was the Kifu writer for Ito's games. Her shogi is always very sharp, very fun to watch. So if you guys like this type of shogi, you can watch her games. Yeah, Ito Sae. Yeah, with Shimizu, yeah. She destroyed me on my Navi. I think it was my last game before my break. She destroyed me completely. All right, so the Kifu, right? Okay, so we're gonna kind of read those comments that are here. I'm not gonna read all of them because who cares? Okay, we should care in what hotel it was, but okay, actually it was in Yamanashi, so we do care. Okay, it was in Yamanashi in Kofu. Tokiwa Hotel. Okay, so that's important because this is the city where I studied shogi, like when I went to university. So this is maybe why I mentioned that. But apart from that, yeah, the lunch break, like 3 hours per player, 1 minute BOME, and there's like bunch of other we can call it official notes, like not really important for us here watching the game right now. So it is important for us to know who's Sente, and is it written here? Yeah, Nishiyama is on the bottom, Satomi is on top, and unfortunately it also spoils us the result because it shows 1, so not only my fault. Ito Sae. Yeah. I can copy the Japanese name if you need. Yeah. So like Gangi, like those type of shogi, I saw her play. This is the best stream. Thank you, Mifa. So yeah, just for people who came late, on Saturdays we were doing this type of shogi studies, and on Sundays we're gonna do your Kifu reviews. And tomorrow we're gonna do it a little bit different because there is something called Google Jam, which is a contest made by Google, programming contest. It's gonna start right in the middle of our stream. So I didn't decide yet. Maybe we'll start the stream 1 hour earlier to have 2-hour stream, or I will make it shorter. Probably the first option, but apart from that, we're gonna come back to the schedule, and I will be working on my different schedule, but I don't want to promise you anything yet. There will be something I'll be working on, but no spoilers. Thanks, Mifa, for 100 bits. All right, let's take a look. So Nishiyama is on the bottom, Satomi is on top. So it's kind of weird to see like 7, 8. Guys, if you have any question during, just type it. 7, 8 rook. It's kind of weird to see. It is a normal move. They say, you know, that she could have played central rook, but he decided to play third file. And she actually, Nishiyama had 11 wins in a row as Sente in that moment. So she was very strong as Sente, and she had a match against Satomi of 167 moves with the same first move a while ago, in the January of the last year. No, this year. This year, yeah. Yeah, Time Zombie, when you were gone, we had like many trains coming, so we came up with this new role called the Devil role, Devil Summoner. How did we call it actually? Devil the Train Summoner. Okay. So if your donation will be what triggers the train, you're gonna be announced a devil on our Discord. Yeah, that's a new role we have. And also, guys, quick thing: if you guys have Moushindeiru nickname on our Discord, you guys know what it means. We have this tournament starting on Monday. It's gonna last 1 week. You better read the description carefully there, because it says what kind of special rule this tournament will have. And this tournament is for you to redeem yourself, yeah? Yes, if you want to be able to join the tournament, you have to say that word in Japanese, indeed. All right, so the rook is normal, nothing weird, but of course we will have to be careful about the bishop exchange. Satomi plays 5-4 pawn, which indicates either Nakabisha or the uses of silver in here. There's also option of Ifuribisha like this, it says. Now we open the rook. There's no problem with us opening the rook because our bishop is the only bishop on this line right now. And the silver comes here. So this kind of indicates Ifuribisha already. Because the silver came here, that means the attacking silver will be this one, and the rook will come somewhere around those squares. We also have a natural development of silver for Nishiyama. Now there's a lot of Japanese text. They're talking about their rate of win rate that year and so on and so on. I don't think we're gonna translate it. Then they talk about the money prize, which is 500 man yen for the winner of the title match, I think. Yeah, the might not be open. So yeah, naturally we move the rook there, so the king will go to the right side. And here the bishop line exchange is open right now, but you're gonna see that they're not gonna exchange. If we're gonna exchange the bishops, there's no good way for the bishop to fork anything, so basically you gain nothing. Yeah, you kind of waste a move, you allow center to get opposing rook. I mean, it's not like it's super bad, it's just that it's not giving you anything. So this is why they're not gonna do it immediately. Here, this indicates that Satomi might be going for Mukai Bisha as well. So like this. And here you have Nishiyama showing the Kinmuso Kaso, yeah? Kinmuso. So yes, Seo realized that it's Kyoto Shogi, yeah, the Moushindeiru Tournament. Yeah, hope your hand is getting better, Mifa. I heard about your incident. I might have laughed a little bit hearing how it happened, but I'm sorry. It's kind of funny to me because I remember when I was in primary school and I would be a goalkeeper as well, so it kind of reminded me of my childhood. Hello, Annette. Oh, Melkor beat you twice? Ooh. In Kyoto Shogi, you mean? Even my mom laughed. Oh no. Time Zombie gifted tier 1 sub to Shogi Explained. Okay, you gifted it to yourself. Gotcha. This wasn't on purpose. Anyway, thank you for the sub. Money laundering, yes. Okay, so we have the Vanguard Pawn and the same thing here. So, you see them, this is the Ivory Bishop opening, yeah? So they're not really hurrying to exchange this Rook Pawn here. They're taking the Vanguard Pawn here. This is still opening phase, like Satomi needs to choose what she does with her king. But it's worth noticing that the edge pawn was pushed. It's gonna be important. For example, if you have this edge pawn pushed, it's unlikely they're gonna play Mino, for example, yeah? Because then the edge becomes a target. So it's kind of she's forced to play Kinmuso here, I believe. Thank you, Ganjin, for subscribing 11 months in a row. Welcome back. Oh, it's Genjen that gifted you, but welcome back. As if I could beat Mifa in normal Shogi. Well, if his hand is hurting, you know, he's gonna misclick and take your lance take your lance forgetting that it's a gold or something. No, take your silver forgetting that there is a gold instead of the lance. That's what happened last time. All right, so 5/5 pawn. It's quite unusual. Let's see what the comment says. They played it before, but the situation was that 6/6 Royal Ivandi. You just triggered the train, so you will be announced to be the Devil Summoner. And Arcanine, welcome to the subscribers. Yep. Everybody who subbed today will be redeemed the new generation of defenders. That will be Time Zombie. That will be Gen. I wonder, should we count the people who subscribed or should we count the people who received the sub? I guess the people who paid, actually. So, Mifa, yeah, we're gonna count the people who actually paid because that's fair. So for now, the defenders will be Mifa, Gen, and Time Zombie. Anybody who cheers beats, anybody who sends money on coffee will be deemed as a guardian. Yeah, it doesn't matter for you. Yep, well, you're both the same person in your case. So in that previous game, they closed the bishop and they changed into bishop So yeah, they went for opposing rook a lot. Yeah. The flow of the game when they took the 5-5 pawn without closing the bishop, that's the first time they played it. In Ivory Bisha, there's a lot of free fight, like non-Joseki fight. Thank you for the follow, Flameco. Anything that helps the train to crash the harbor. No, Mifa, no. Where was I? So it's a lot of free fight, so there won't be a lot of Joseki in this, yeah? The Ivory Bisha was always known for that, not having really Joseki being in workings, yeah. Always it's the fight of powers, yeah? Not about the fight of knowledge. So the target of 5-5 pawn is the 5-4 silver, and then bishop goes here, rook goes here. That's what the comment says. So Mukai Bisha with 4-4 bishop. We already talked about how nice square that is for the bishop. The 4-4 and 6-6, the best position, yeah. One of the professional players said that he feels that maybe the way they're playing is influenced by softwares, yeah. All right. Muse and I had arguments. It relates to shogi topics. What kind of arguments did you have? 2 minutes, 20 seconds until level 2 train crushes. Oh no. I think last time the train came, we actually got an ego channel, so maybe trains are not this bad. For beginners. Oh. Depends what you like, yeah? If you're a Furibisha player and your opponent plays Furibisha, you should try it, yeah. No need to change for static rook in that case. So we know what their plan is, yes? This is Satomi's plan, yeah? Clearly go for this shape, and we can see probably Mukai Bisha here, we can see King Musel. This also seems Nakabisha, the central rook is rather unlikely, because this square is heavily protected, but we're gonna see. The bishop goes up to make the space for the rook. Here it is important that we push this pawn because the silver will come here. Attacking could pressure the head of the bishop, so this is probably why they're closed. And here you could argue that they came back to the shape that they played before. Yeah, bishop was closed anyway. And here we have as they predicted. But this move is quite surprising. We have the Mukai Bisha here. We expect this move, and suddenly we have this silver. And what one professional said is that this shape looks like completely freestyle shogi, and it's the fight of your intuition, yeah. Riki-san. You can see yourself in Ishiyama shogi. I see. Let's see what she might mean by that. It's hard to read, right? Maybe the silver will come here. Interesting. So yeah, there is no point for us pushing this pawn yet because there is the rook. So instead what Nishiyama does is to push 3-6 pawn. And well, simply speaking, that enables the Yagura shape, yeah? It's important because her castle is flat and she will make some... If she would be able to make the Yagura shape, that puts a pressure on the bishop. I think the train level 1... That was actually level 1 train, guys. Is it the biggest train that actually hit the harbor so far? Oh my gosh. Maybe I should decide like, oh, it's the biggest train. We cut the stream right now. The train hit level 1 train. We had only 3 defenders. Rolivande will be the devil. The damage will be big, and I will have to... That's quite fun, actually. You feel so much devil power. Oh yes. Oh yes. I will be back in 5 seconds. Yep. The devil controls the stream. Oh, Melkor also redeems short teaching game. Okay, so we have 2 teaching games after this. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. And I touched the microphone. All right, back to the game. Remind me, guys, after the game that we wanna play 2 teaching games. I should write it down actually. Melkor and Miss. By the way, guys, do you have something like this that you're speaking English and then you like kind of doubt yourself that it's English, or is it your home language? Like your brain realizes, oh, actually, you're not speaking in the language you were thinking you were speaking, and kind of confuses you. I just had this feeling right now. All right, so Yagura, yeah, going for a higher shape. And here we have the 7-3. So this is kind of strategy that you can use to force the Yagura shape if you would like to in I3 Bisha games. Because your rook stays here, you do not allow them to exchange those pawns, right? So, for example, if you go here, here, boom, you have Yagura shape, yeah? You don't want to build Yagura shape after this pawn is exchanged. The reason is, if this pawn is gone, this knight will be able to attack the silver, and we learned it. If you guys read my Gangi handwritten notes, we learned that having the knight attacking this silver is a very nice thing to have against Yagura. Which is also why Nishiyama might keep this pawn here, and without exchanging the pawn, she might be able to enable her knight, yeah? So it is important to notice that this pawn is not pushed yet, yeah? That's deliberate. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, we're going for that. There's a comment saying that the target is to push this, put it here, then move the rook, clearly. Instead of this move, maybe this, this. Because of this, you cannot move the rook. This would be too good, yeah, for Nishiyama. That's what they're saying. Sente pace, yeah? That's what Aono 9-dan said. So yeah, this is all deliberate, yeah? They're trying to prevent each other from exchanging this and also enable Yagura. There's another comment here saying that in this position, if you were to play king, silver, silver, rook, silver, king goes up, then going for the exchange in the middle, exchanging the silvers, would be center pace. So instead of exchanging the silvers, Okay, no. After silver exchange, what they're targeting is silver drop. So they have to redrop, then you push the pawn, then the knight comes in, then you attack the knight's head. Okay, it's a very complicated professional analysis, but this gives you kind of insight to what is in the pro head, yeah? What they're looking at. So to simplify this all, basically, if we go with natural flow of making the castle here and there, what's going to happen is center is going to activate this silver through center. They're going to exchange the silvers. And what's gonna happen is because they have a silver in hand, they're gonna put a pressure on the bishop. And it's gonna be easy for them to put pressure on the bishop more because they will have this high shape, yeah? If they try to defend, the knight head will be weak. So that's kind of what they're saying, yeah? With this many arrows. Sorry about that. Okay. So let's see if it has happened. Instead of the king, she played the gold. This was a sign that she wants to fight slowly, perhaps. The king going here would enable the quicker variations. The problem with this is that she needs to play one more move, king 3-9, to put it in a defensive position. So makes her slower, yeah? So this is what people were excited about, lance 1-3. Quite simple attack, going for, instead of going for opposing rook, going for the edge attack. Pawn push, pawn takes, lance takes, rook takes type of deal. It's a very simplistic attack. Rook on the first column, yeah? The problem is that the king is still in the center, and we have the 5-5 pawn that's vanguarded. And there's Yagura. So like all the pieces all kind of unbalanced, right? If we go for the simple attack, our king would become really in danger soon. And because our pieces are imbalanced, that will indicate some other problems. And they're kind of commenting, why did she choose the gold and not the king? Yeah, they're kind of trying to figure out what was her plan here. Spearing the sparrow attack. So silver is not joining the attack, so it's quite a simple rook and lance attack. It's not gonna break through alone because we will have 1, 2, 3 attacking pieces instead of 4, yeah? But it does create certain pressure, so we will see how it works out. Silver 6-7 is what was predicted, yeah, our favorite shape, Klippu shape. Rook 1-2. This is what she targeted. The question is what she's gonna do with the balance. If we were to go for the previously mentioned attack with the silver exchange, they're trying to figure out this variation. Something like blocking the bishop but going in and enabling rook. They're trying to analyze this variation for Sente, and their judgment was that it wasn't clear who's better off. Well, you could argue that this lance is not here, so... And yeah, that would allow really nice attack for Goddess, so it's kind of scary for them, right? Fighting next to the king's ear. So instead, she pushes the 8-5 pawn, Nishiyama does. This looks very natural. What she said after the game is that she didn't have a plan for this move, but it felt natural to her to push this pawn. And the next move will be knight 3-3. In the post-game discussion, somebody pointed out silver drop here. We would then be able to attack the bishop and the knight and get a knight. So get 2 pieces for 1, right? On which Nishiyama said that she did think a little bit about this move. but she wasn't sure about whenever it's good for her to take the knight, yeah? She wasn't sure about the knight, and therefore she like omitted this variation, yeah? Okay. So I guess we can say that this is one of the weaknesses we could remember from this game for ourselves. Quite interesting. Next, what she did instead was to activate her bishop h6. It's targeting the 5-3 square, and because the bishop moved, it's gonna enable the knight. So all those pieces will be looking at this square indirectly. So this is our situation, yeah? So let's come down and look at this. We see that Gothe's king is still in the middle of the board, but if the king were to move, Sente's knight will be developed and they will be like ready to fight. The rook and the lance took a lot of preparation to make on the edge. The knight is jumped, and surprisingly, this is where Satomi decided to like go for it, yeah? So without the king being castled, without anything, going for it, yeah? Now, there is the comment whenever you should drop the pawn or take the lance. Dropping the pawn would be a natural move. What would happen? Okay, let's type it in, yeah? So, where did that comment go? Here, right? Yeah. Pawn drop, lance takes, promotes, lance takes. It keeps jumping. Okay, so something like this, and then we can promote. And the problem with that is that it becomes a double fork, yeah? I mean, a fork, singular fork, which is double thread, all right. So this is question is why she didn't play it, right? I don't know. Like they're saying this is a natural move as well. Then they're talking about sweets or something. But okay, so they're not commenting on this fact anymore. They're saying it was a natural one. What she played was lance takes instead, rook takes, pawn drop. So this is what they predicted. If the rook goes back, which it does, what Gothe is threatening next is pawn drop to 1-8. But the problem with this is that the king is on 4-8, which is very far away from there. So maybe it's not a problem for there. It is quite far away from this gold as well. And just playing knight 7-7 would allow us to use the lance in hand somewhat. Perhaps it would be okay for Sente, yeah? Aono Sensei is predicting maybe gold move, king move. If they're able to take one pawn in hand from here. Oh wait, that's a different variation. Ah, I see, okay. So, okay, so Aono's plan is for, I think it's for this variation, that if they do nothing, we're gonna put the gold here, we're gonna put the king here, we're gonna get a pawn in hand, and then we're gonna kill this lance by dropping the pawn that we got. That's what I assumed he's talking about, yeah? So, in this position, Gothe would be forced to play quickly, yeah? But that's not what happened. She just took it, and she dropped here, the rook went back, and then knight 7-7. So this is the other variation that we thought about. So one could say that we didn't choose the defensive variation. We chose to agree on the lance exchange, and then we are like, sure, I have a weakness on the edge. I'm gonna attack you in the center your king is weaker, I don't care about my edge. Yeah, maybe this is like what Nishiyama is thinking here. All right, so yeah, so Sente's king also isn't this strong, but they're going to attack. But yeah, they notice that Sente might have hard trouble like starting an attack, and they're noticing that lance exchange is favoring Gotha indeed. Yeah, this game is cool so far. Yeah, it is. It is. How do you feel, guys? Which side would you prefer to be so far? Would you prefer to have your king without the lance? Or would you prefer to have Satomi's rook that looks directly on the edge, yeah? Or do you prefer to have your left side knight almost reaching the enemy king, yeah? Contenti prefers Sente. Yellow likes Nishiyama's position. Alright. 2 for Nishiyama, gotcha. So what Satomi did is like block the knight development. So naturally a move that we're gonna consider is pawn push. Pawn takes, knight takes. Seems like silver can take it though. So what's the plan? Where is it? I lost it. I have to get used to it. I lost it. Where was it? 6-4. Takes, silver takes, lance drop. Okay. So it's takes, lance drop. I'm so confused. Where did it go? Seriously. Here. Like, how did it jump so far? I don't understand. Okay, so the problem with this move is that this opens the bishop line, and it's kind of hard to take that silver without losing the rook, right? But, yeah. So they're trying to figure out like how to enable that lance in hand, how to do it. Maybe push the rook here, maybe go for an exchange here, maybe first castle. This is like what they're talking about here. But yeah, this is one example when the attack is failing, I think. You think Satomi's position is fun, but you'd rather be Nishiyama. I see. Okay. So what she did is to simply drop the lance here, and I really like this move actually. If the bishop were to escape, we just gone. Why does it jump so badly? I see, because the follow-up move is here, and the comment was here, so it kind of messes it up. Why is the... I mean, it makes sense. This comment is to this comment is to this. I guess it makes sense, but it's really hard to read. So yeah, if we are able to like disturb this silver, we kind of able to disturb this king. The king is in the center, so we will be able to do something with it. Now, without taking it, maybe we're able to counterattack. Then we are able to go here, pawn promotion, pawn pushes from the right. Pawn takes, silver takes, pawn drop, bishop takes, knight jump. Okay, pawn drop, bishop takes, knight drops from silver 6-6. So this is one example that's successful for Sente. And then the other one would be we can like pressure the silver using our silver. So in this example, you can clearly see how this attack is much slower. Yeah, this is just a single attacking. In the meantime, we're able to abuse this silver, this knight, So we are one move faster, kind of. So instead of escaping, which would give tempos to center, Satomi drops the lance to 4-5. And here, if we were to take it, that would attack our silver. So that's kind of weird for her to do it, right? Because it activates Satomi's knight, and this is what happened. But she moves the silver back. And this is kind of brilliant, because instead of thinking of it, oh, we allowed them to develop the knight, we rather invited the knight to come here. We strengthened the defense of our edge while threatening to retake the knight. Yeah, so this is pretty interesting strategy to me. Elite Magician is asking, are you gonna do Kyoto Shogi Tourney? Yes. I just has pieces that show, yeah, but we're gonna do it on 81 Doge, I guess. I mean, there is trick to remembering which pieces turn to which in Kyoto Shogi. The weakest turn into strongest, the pawn into rook. And then diagonal pieces, silver and bishop. Then the gold, which is king, turns into keima. So there are tricks to remember it, yeah? It's quite... This is why I gave you more time in the tournament to figure it out. All right. Guerrilla attack, yeah. So Gote is in trouble, yeah? The knight seems like it's gonna be taken for free. This is never good, especially in professional shogi. We're targeting 4-6 pawn, yeah? For example, if they were to play the gold, pawn push, and knight promotes, gold takes, king 6-1, trying to castle, yeah? Yeah, center won't have a pawn. But yeah, like center won't have a pawn, but they're gonna have a knight. Yeah, so it's quite rough. Quite rough. So what Satomi did is she started engaging. Time zombie. You want to enter? I see. I see. I see. I see. I see. I hope you guys so far, like, I hope you... I know that we're, like, analyzing this game really slowly, but I hope you enjoy this new format of our stream. Pro games are really cool to watch, really cool to, like, try to think about different outcomes here. I really enjoyed it. Hope you do too. So the problem with this pawn is that if we were to take it, you know, this bishop line, it looks very, very scary, right? So Nishiyama decides to, like, ignore it. And they're showing a very difficult variation where we take here, they take here, they take here, we take here. They drop lance with a check. We drop the lance and they take the gold, king takes. So many pieces, like, exchange those two golds for those two pieces. It's really hard to decide who's better off in this position. Very scary variation that's possible, yeah? You really like it. Okay, thanks, Rolivanti. Thank you. So yeah, Nishiyama also mentioned that she didn't even consider this move, yeah? It's just didn't come to her mind. She played here instead. This move is possible, yeah, we're gonna take the knight. It is quite safer, yeah? We just retreat lightly, this knight is doomed anyway, so it's quite a nice way to play it off. Then if we were to go here, the center is weakened, it's a possibility, of course. Nishiyama thought that it will be fine for her to move the silver back and allow this exchange. but she might have underestimated this pawn a little bit. What's the score? 1-1. And here is Satomi's lance drop, which blocks the bishop and also puts pressure on this line. This is quite a cool spot for the lance, yeah? Instead of dropping it like you want to have two birds with one stone, yeah? Block the bishop while counterattack. Really cool drop. But the problem will be... Okay, so what she... let's start with that. What she's targeting. Pawn push, gold takes promotion. That's what she's targeting. Also, she's able to like double the attack with the rook, so it's quite a tense position. You could say that Sente doesn't have much confidence here, according to Aono, that this move was quite passive, which gave Gote tempo, right? And this is where Nishiyama kind of stopped and used a lot of time. And then she dropped quite interesting thing, yeah? 4-5 lance. Instead of addressing that, she went for attack herself. So now, if the bishop escapes, what we're gonna do is drop the knight, forking 2 golds, or takes, pawn drop. Yeah, we're gonna get the pawn in hand. We don't have pawn. We would be able to stop the lance. You prefer Gote, I see. Go sack the bishop. So there are those two plans hidden in here, yeah? There is also the 7-1 bishop, which would continue the protection of 5-3 knight. But again, we would have the lance unpromoted, gold escapes, pawn drop. Takes. The bishop would be able to promote here. And then they will be able to pressure our gold. So instead, maybe promote the lance. Then they are able to attack. Takes, promote. In both of those variations, Aono Sensei says that he doesn't have much confidence in Sente. Satomi says that in the post-game discussion, yeah? She thought that if the bishop goes to 7-1, she won't be able to use it in the attack. In the future, this gold will be able to be used through here. She didn't notice that. Okay, so there will be something about the gold perhaps later. If she go here, then she expected lance and promotion, gold escapes, pawn drop, taking the lance, taking this, and she thought she's in trouble. So what Nishiyama said is that she thought she was a little bit worse. And she expected the bishop to come here. She wanted to reach this king somehow, yeah? But what Satomi did was to play bishop 3-3. And that's gonna be a little bit different because now the lance promotion is gonna target the bishop directly. And we will force to like retake it, yeah? We had this one variation where the bishop went here and we allowed the promotion and counterattack, yeah? Because the bishop is on 3-3, I think this targets it more directly. The other move that was considered was bishop 1-5, which is a check. Knight jump, then take, and then pawn drop, yeah? Pawn drop, unfortunately, would be answered with a lance drop here. Yeah, we get a lance here. We would be able to fork 2 big pieces. Time zombie Moushindeiru. Oh no, you actually made a new account for that time zombie. Oh my god. Zombie, why? I mean, you had zombie in your name already. You didn't need it. You had zombie in your name already. All right. All right, all right. Okay, so as a result of this all, Sente manages to defend, right? The question is how Gote will be able to punch through. So Satomi's reading was lance drop, takes push, takes, promotion, takes gold drop, king runs, taking the silver. She wasn't sure about this line, yeah? So that's what was her first line, but she ended up playing the rook instead of dropping the lance. The problem is the rook and the king are now lined up together, so as a shape that's not a really good move. It's really scary for Gote to play it. In the post-game discussion, they also said that Nishiyama felt like she felt more confident seeing this move. She was more afraid the lance drop, as previously mentioned line. All right, so here is perhaps the last mistake. So one thing was where to escape with this bishop. I think that was the key point here. And then the second point was to use the lance or use the rook. The rook looks more natural, perhaps because you want to keep the lance, but it also leads to the fact that the rook and king are close by, and it's kind of scary, yeah? So what happened is this move happened, which was previously mentioned. Satomi didn't predict it. If the pawn is pushed, we drop the pawn, and you can see there is this fork coming up soon, so we cannot really break through easily. It's a very, very strong move from Nishiyama. Instead of taking the lance, yeah, defending here, putting more defense in the center. Pawn push, pawn drop. And yes, we cannot take because of that fork, as it would be good. Therefore, we use the silver. Okay, so here is kind of the end game, yeah? The players are on the board, we have to play it out. So the silver will come, we're gonna take the lance, we're gonna try to bring the king to the center, we're gonna exchange those pieces, and look what happened. Yeah, this is why this is why perhaps the rook there wasn't the best idea. Now, yes, we do have the chance of like deleting the lance, so this will be what Satomi will do. Yeah, we're able to delete the lance, but what happens? Well, pawn promotion. Again, not only attacking the rook, but also attacking the king. Sente become more like winning here. To Rida, yeah. So the problem is tokens are powerful, yeah? And this particular token is not only attacking the rook, but also surrounding the king. And also this bishop is here, right? So it's such a powerful promotion over here. We try to block the bishop, but we don't let them. Now, if we were to take this silver, our speed is gonna fall, yeah? So what do? Drop the silver. This king is fine, yeah? This king, 2 lances in hand. It's somewhat fine still. We can give away the silver, apparently. Let's try to figure it out. Yeah. As long as we don't give away the gold, we should be fine. Silver takes, token takes. And do you guys know the proverb? If the token is on 5-3 or 5-7, means you're winning the game. Yeah. That's like the most powerful token you can have on the board. Which simply retaining checkmate with a knight drop. We try to protect it by making space for the king, but that gives us tempo. We're gonna take the rook. Gold's gonna retake. If we drop the rook, there is the bottom pawn. So instead, we're gonna play this. So how do we analyze this position? Satomi has 2 lances, 1 silver. She has a talking gold bishop, so she has enough pieces to like attack, yeah? But perhaps literally we got a free rook here, right? We have the material advantage. So instead of pushing her way through, Nishiyama decides that slowing the game is what will favor her, and she defends her king for a while. She's able to realize that she will defend it because of her expertise, yeah? She knows that... okay, how do I say? It's not gonna... She won't be able to defend forever, right? But this gives her more space, more time to survive, and therefore her slower attack will be successful, even though previously it wasn't fast enough. It gives her more time, more breath, perhaps. Yeah, let's go with that. So silver drop, yeah, because she has a space here, she can now attack. The talking comes in, but that's not enough. Yeah, we have all the space. We're gonna try to defend, try to prolong our life. Here we're trying to use the gold to stop the rook from checking the king, but we don't care anymore, yeah? We don't care about the rook anymore. And here, yeah, there is a winning thing here, yeah? If the king runs, silver drop, that leads to a checkmate, actually. So this is the key point of the endgame here, yeah? I think. This is where she has the clear advantage, and how do we bring it through? We make sure we're fast enough, make sure our king has as much space as it can. This allows us to survive one more move. We're gonna counter attack. Here, this creates checkmate threat. Rook drop, silver drop. Yeah. We make a token, but we do not give this silver to the enemy. We try to defend without giving up the pieces. This rook, again, targets this powerful check. This king still survives, so we try our best to defend, but simplify the position. Simplify, take away the gold. Now there's 2 of them instead of 3. We gave away single knight. That's not gonna threaten our king. That's important in endgame. And here we're threatening, yeah, silver drop if the gold takes that silver gold mate. Beautiful, beautiful Hishi. And here, if the rook is taken, this is a mate. Yeah. If the king runs, let's say here, it's simpler. Let's say here maybe. This would be mate. I didn't read this variation yet. We could try to go here. Does this also lead to a simple mate or not so simple? Am I missing something? No, it's not mate. Yeah, the line they're showing is just take. He hasn't fully committed to becoming a pro. Who was it? Oh, Little Magician. What am I missing? So there is this bishop sacrifice that I can see. And... well, the problem is I'm missing one. No, it's a mate. It's a mate. It's a silver is the best, you think? I think this works as well. The problem with the silver is king goes here. How do you mate that? Yeah. So I think this works. It's forcing to take, going here. If goes here. Okay, that's actually... No, it is working, right? If the king goes here, we go here. And if it goes here, we go here, right? So I think this is the line. One of the working ones. So of course they, you know, they're able to read those in BOM and so on. I mean, honestly, like here, because we take so many pieces, probably doesn't need to be checkmate, but this is simple enough. They're able to find those. Yeah. So that's it, guys. This is the Nishiyama versus Satomi Mainavi match 2. This is how it went. If you guys want more commentary, we had the link on our Discord via Moto Shureka in Japanese, though. He commented more insightfully about it. I will have to watch it as well. Yeah, it was really exciting. Just to quickly point out the moves that were the most interesting. Satomi had a very unusual strategy, which was like the rook on the first file. Nishiyama took it straight forward. She took the lance. She didn't defend. This particular way of capturing the knight was very interesting. Here, perhaps Satomi had a chance to break through, but it seemed perhaps her answer to this lance wasn't the best, leading to the defense here. And the fact that the rook came very close to the king, and instead of, you know, it being a lance, it means that that particular rook was there later used against her, like this. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, Nishiyama sent him beautifully. The silver drops. Yeah, here the rook is used against her. Here. Also notice this silver move that was huge in the end game, making more space. And of course, again, not material, speed is what matters in the end. Yeah, going for the line. This is the resignation deck. Well, this is why we're learning together, little magician. This is why we're doing those Saturday streams, so that we look at those amazing pro Kifu, so that we can get inspired and hopefully find those moves next time, yeah? I don't think it's about the defense. I think it's about the counter attack that was more impressive here, yellow. All right, speaking of yellow, we have a match to play. I believe we have two people who redeemed their games, which is yellow and Melkor. So it was it 10 seconds Shogi, or was it, I think it was 10 seconds Shogi, right? As you guys know, you can redeem your channel points to like challenge me to a quick game. And so we're gonna do it now. I need to turn on my headphones, they keep dying. Onegaishimasu, yeah. So Melkor, you will be next. Thank you for the follow, Sharon. Yeah, yes, I saw you too, Journey, as well. How did it go? But the opening was similar to success, nice. Melkor, you can like mute it if you want. You don't have to close it. That was close. What did I miss? Ureshino versus Sunken Bishop. I couldn't think of the position during during the game. Ureshino versus Sunken Bishop, a quick pawn 7-5. Yeah, I see. For extra time points, mute tab instead of the stream. Oh, interesting. Okay. So muting the stream actually affects? Yeah, he did. Ion is really gotten strong. I recorded my first 2 YouTube videos and I tried playing with those pieces but couldn't. You mean the Kyoto one or do you mean the chess ones? Czech ones. I mean the Czech ones. Takes time to get used to it. The same way you get used to the kanji one. Most of the chat was totally silent. I thought I was losing. I was panicking. I'm pretty sure there was some defense here. Oh, you missed your... Don't be mad. I mean, I understand because I would be really mad, like, as well, like, in the past. Oh, you know what? Be mad. Be mad. It's a good feeling to have. It's a good feeling that makes you improve. Not sure about this pawn here. Pretty sure this is defendable. I mean, my dragon works, which means I have 4 attacking pieces, so I was like, and 6-4 pawn, I was like, maybe it's gonna work. But it was really rough. I thought your bishop to 6-6 was very, very good move. Maybe the other god? Okay, I guess silver takes is the same in the end. Yeah, I guess this is forced. Fortunately. Like, kind of shame that that pawn wasn't a lance, for example. Yeah, it could help with the defense here. That's what I was thinking. Chinchilla noise. Gold takes 6-4, felt like. Okay, so it's later here, eh? Maybe going for counter at that point. Yeah, so this is not checkmate threat, that's what Koshiro is saying. So maybe going for some counter, so I'd imagine like a bishop or rook drop. I mean, it's important to see the lens drop, it's just like it needs to be faster at this point. I'm afraid we're missing one general here for the bishop drop to work. Knight to 4. Knight to 4 is also interesting. Knight to 4 is, I could drop the silver here. Take this and take the knight. Yeah, I could kind of defend it while attacking, in the worst case. Okay, we're gonna quickly check it with the Maybe refresh will help. I have to quickly check it and then play one game against Melkor. Pawn drop 6-3 straight mates on the time for bishop drop 7-5, rook drop 7-9, yeah. Effective counter for which, yeah, that's what we're trying to ask computer sensei. Like, it seems like bishop drop was one piece not enough to me. Knight drop is interesting, but oh, I had better move here. Silver 5-5. Duh. Obviously. Okay, I missed it. Bishop takes? Yeah, bishop takes the pawn was better. It's because if you take the pawn, then I mean, I'm forking the bishop and the knight. So what if you take the pawn, though? The rook dies, right? Okay, if you take it at the 7, I also need some improvement. Here, I regretted that move. I should have run or taken. I was thinking run, but then I was like, I'm giving away tempo. But I gave away tempo anyway. I shouldn't have done that. Gold drop to 4, interesting. Knight drop to 6. Why I didn't see that move? No idea. 10 seconds Shogi. Rook a2. Interesting. Okay, so here it seems it's winning, but then I made the wrong play here. Okay, because the rook actually attacks the silver. That was important. So against the gold drop, king move actually. So, okay, gold, bishop. Okay, I don't understand the score. You guys don't see the screen. Why nobody tell me? Why nobody tell me? All right. So here, for some reason, I don't understand it. This move shows the score of 460, but this move is 300. Okay, I guess this depth isn't enough. This is why. So basically, it's suggesting the king move to here. And then it's winning for you. So my best move was to play here. My gold drop was bad. If rook move, then pawn drop, then take, then gold, then 2-4. Okay, 7-4. So, okay, so this would activate my dragon with tempo, obviously. Then played here, again, missing that move. I don't know, I thought the silver is protected in my mind. Then the bishop drop works because it's protecting both this square and attacking. Interesting. Then I have to exchange 2 pieces for 1. So this was their chance. Bishop drop, yeah, let's find out. You're in the bishop drop here, Koshiro? Where was it? Here. It's just 5-5-7. Interesting. Yeah, I felt I was clearly winning here because this 8-5 pawn isn't good. Now it felt winning to me here, it's just that I missed that move and went for more strategic than tactical battle, but I was winning tactically. Then here, missed my move, got scared. I shouldn't get scared. Edge attack, scary. Night drop. Lance, eh? Lance. The computer also says Lance. Lance drop. This was a mistake. Yeah, the dragon move was huge. I was thinking, like, how do I activate my dragon? It was so simple. Baka. All right, Melkor, you're next. Thank you, Jon. Next time I'm gonna lose, I swear. Next time I'm gonna lose. So close. No, get mad. You should get mad. It's a good sign. You should get mad. If you don't get mad, it means you don't care. And not caring won't get you stronger, yeah? You never get mad? Because you're a computer. Yeah, good luck, Melkor. Do thousands of centipound mean almost certainly winning? Yeah, 1,000 is like winning. 2,000 is like more, yeah. I would say 1,000 is like huge advantage, if not winning. 200 or 300 is like silver advantage. Taniga Koji sensei is known for biting shogi pieces when he was a kid, when he got beaten by his older brother. Oh, wow, biting? Wow. But yeah, I mean, anger is one of those emotions that we have that motivates us to improve, so that's not bad. I mean, opponent can come back from anything. If you're a dummy dumb, you can make a mistake anywhere. Hmm. Yeah, in chess, it's like, yeah. Good game. Yeah, 10 seconds is pretty rough. Sorry about that. So we were talking about your opening before, right? And you were complaining on Shogi Explained stream that I said that your endgame good and your opening is bad. So I'm just gonna prove it to you. Moves like this are not moves like a beginner player makes, yeah? This sacrifice into pound drop, this is not something that a beginner would see, yeah? Now, what a non-beginner would know is that probably going with Bogin against Nakabisha's bishop head, that's probably a bad idea because my attack goes here and your attack concentrates here, right? So naturally my attack will be closer to your king. So that strategy is usable in like versus third 5 rook versus 4 5 rook, but probably not against central rook, and you would see more this shape. So this is the knowledge you are lacking in the opening. And then you don't really want to drop pawns like this, because I like how somebody asks me a question and then leaves immediately. Like my rook being here is very powerful, yeah? This is something you need to know in the openings as well. So here, tactics, yeah? You try to force rook exchange. You try to sabaki rook. This tactic is not known by beginner player. It proves you're not a beginner player when it comes to middle game or end game, yeah? But definitely you should try to input more power in understanding the opening principles. Yeah, I keep repeating it and I will keep repeating it because you keep making those small mistakes. And this time I hope I pointed it out more clearly to you. I know the errors are so satisfying. I know. Not everything was bad in this game. Yes, the opening wasn't the best. The shogi studies here in Nakabisha. Like, again, yeah, we have this new Saturday segment. Unlike Sunday, where we're gonna review Kifus, I hope on Saturday we will have more time in learning some openings or looking at some pro Kifu, because you guys always ask me question. Okay, so where it came from. You guys always ask me on the Kifu review, like, oh, I'm playing Millennium here, what do I do as Furibisha? Or am I doing my best with this Elmo Castle? Yeah, you keep asking those questions, and I don't have easy answers because the answers are not easy. But hopefully, because we have this Saturday stream, we can uncover more of those secrets, like watch some pro games, yeah? People who are so much stronger than I am that I can also learn by watching them. We can get inspired by what they're playing, we can get new ideas, yeah? I hope it's gonna be inspirational stream for us, you as watchers and me as a streamer as well, for us both, yeah? Yeah, so tomorrow we're doing the usual stream review. We're gonna start 1 hour earlier because I will have my Google Jam. I will have to finish and start programming. So we're gonna start at 4 p.m. Zurich time. I have your Kifu. Let me quickly see how many Kifu are there after the Easter break. Oops, that's not the Kifu upload. It was right. 6. We have 6 Kifu for tomorrow. So definitely we should do 2-hour stream. And yeah, we won't have a distinction between tournament or not tournament Kifu anymore. What other things do I have to talk about before we finish? Let me check if anybody's streaming Shogi. Doesn't seem so. Let me see my calendar. We have special stream on the next Friday with Roland. And we will continue reading book on Thursday. The Tuesday stream is not yet decided. But yeah, if you guys have an idea what should we do in next week, I have those handicap books. We can watch some Pro Kifu. It seems like many of you enjoyed it today, so we could continue with that. I don't mind like preparing some material. If you have anything you would like to, you can like post it on Discord. I'm gonna read. You can ping me. I have those Shogi Sekai we can go over. We can do some problems. Anything you like, yeah. But yeah, for now we will have to survive the train, level 1 train crashing into harbor. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it today. We're not gonna rate anyone, I think, because there are not anybody streaming Shogi. And yeah, don't forget about the Moushindeiru tournament in case you have the Moushindeiru nickname on our Discord. And this is where you should post your Kifu for tomorrow if you're interested. The form. Yep, that would be all. Thank you so much, guys. It seems all Shogi Sekai issues are 50% off on my Navi, so use it. The tutorial for how to do it was somewhere on our Discord. Also, welcome back, Time Zombie. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.